hopefully the role that I'm going to be playing today is just giving people the platform to be able to talk about the vLAmax and build a bit of a community and collaboration within the vLAmax field. Okay, so the conference came about through discussions with Henning and other colleagues towards the back end of last year, and it became very evident there is a lot of really good work being done in the vLAmax field. However, there is still a bit of a lack of that community, the collaboration, and maybe even a consensus in the direction of where to go with the vLAmax. Okay, so we're hoping today's conference will begin to improve some of those. I'm not going to go too much into what vLAmax is, because I know that will be covered extensively as we go through today. But I just want to take the time to just to say I cannot speak more highly of the presenters in the way that they've all conducted themselves in a lead up to the conference. Obviously, this conference is wouldn't happen without the willingness of the people, the presenters taking part. Okay? And I think it speaks volumes that we've been able to bring together all of what I would maybe consider as the leading research groups around the world on the vLAmax. Okay, so I think it's really important that we've been able to do this year. I'm not going to talk too long. I know we've had a few technical issues this morning, and I would like to get straight in on the conference. But there are a couple of small housekeeping things. Obviously, we have the conference outline, the timetable for today. Please be aware, obviously, the time zone differences. Hopefully, these aren't too big, so you should be able to keep on track. I won't go all the way till 15:15. I'll probably finish in a couple of more minutes. Then we're going to hand over to Professor Henning Wackeridge, who's going to be the keynote speaker for today. He's going to talk for around 30 minutes, and hopefully we'll have a few questions at the end of that. And then we're going to have 2 more talks before a short break. I will maintain the length of the break, even if we do run over, give people the opportunity to grab a drink and use the restroom. And then we've got another 7 or 8 talks as we go through the day, 4 after the break. Then we have a lunch break, and then we've got another handful after lunch. There is a full question and answer built into the end of the day, and this should be a good opportunity to maybe start some conversations around potential future collaborations as well. So please do take the opportunity to listen into the question and answer as well. There is not a comment or a chat function on this Teams. However, there is the opportunity to answer some questions and to pitch some questions to the presenters as we go through. Okay. So as I mentioned, today has been built around 11 different talks from a wide range of areas of expertise and researchers spanning the globe. And I'd really appreciate a good level of attendance for all talks. I know obviously this is time zone dependent, but I'd really appreciate that as we go through. There is a small window of opportunities for some questions to build in to the end of each of the talks, but obviously that larger Q&A at the end. In the interest of time, I will probably ask around 2 questions to each presenter, and then any additional questions will be pitched to the presenters after the conference, which will also be disseminated. Just another housekeeping point is the presentations of today will be recorded. These will be disseminated at the end of June via a YouTube link. I think that's the easiest way to share them with everybody, so it doesn't get institutionalized within any of the sharing things. I will share these details in due course. With that being said, if you do not wish for your questions or identifiable details to be included, please do email me before the end of today, and I'll make sure that they're hidden. Okay. With that in mind, I will have to ask that all presenters are ready to share their screen. The way that this Teams function works is you can be ready to present, and then I will drag you into the main speaking room. Okay, so as long as you're there on screen, I can basically give you rights, and that'll be and this way we can ensure a bit of a smooth process. Okay. So lastly, before I hand over to our keynote speaker, I just want to reiterate and take the opportunity to thank all of our presenters and attendees. Okay, we've had a really good uptake in this vLAmax conference, and I feel like it's going to really benefit the research tenfold going forward. So what I would really like to do is build a bit of a community and a collaboration going forward. So if, my door is always open. I will share my email address at the end of the conference. So if anybody would like to reach out to myself, I'm sure other colleagues, other presenters are in the same boat, then please do following today's conference. So with no further ado then, I hope you have an informative and thought-provoking day. And then I'd like to introduce Professor Henning Wackeridge, who's going to present his keynote talk on the confusion history of the vLAmax and why we propose vLA Peak.